What's the most overwhelming audience you ever performed to?
Coachella, bro.
That's what I was thinking. It's got to be Coachella, right?
Coachella, bro. The first time, fucking 100,000 people, bro. Just a sea of people. And it's just me and Kendrick on stage, bro. No band, no nothing, bro. Like, I could have shat myself, bro. It was just a lot of energy, you know. Definitely took mad shots of J-Mo before I went out.
That's your beverage of choice?
At the time. I'm a tequila man now.
Oh, okay, yeah. I respect that. Yeah, she's like, yes. I've been in that position a bunch of times where, like, even seeing Thug perform in England a couple of years ago, and it's like, 50,000 people or some shit, and it's kind of like, this is pretty incredible that one dude rapping can command this audience.
Right.
Like, I know how big rap is, but it
Right.
still is just kind of mind-blowing. Like, this is how big rap is that we're on the other side of the fucking world and they're going crazy like this.
That's a fact. I mean, I remember one of the craziest shows was at Glasgow, London. And we, Kendrick had this record, Cartoons and Cereal. I don't know if you remember that record.
Oh, yeah, I do, yeah.
Bro, that shit overseas, live, complete mosh pit.
That was the one Gunplay was on, right?
Yes, bro. Like, and that shit, like, when that shit was performed live, bro, it was. He ran it back 3. It was just the last song. It was his encore record. He'll come back and it'll just come on with that static, with the with the pitched vocal, with the lights dimmed, bro. Crowd would go berserk, bro. Like, mosh pits will open up. People were getting bloody. It was like, and I think that's really like just showed the performing aspect to creating these songs. Like, from that creating records that really catch the ear of the people in those crowds. Once you can command a crowd, I think it's, you sell different type of music. There's a different part of being a performer once you really get those live performance interactions. Like, it's like a spiritual event. It's crazy.
How did that song come about? How the fuck did Kendrick end up working with Gunplay? Gunplay had Bible at the Dash at the time, and that was like, we all were like, this dude is fire. So it wasn't that surprising for them to work together at the time, but it is a pretty crazy like relic of that era.
So, like, Dot is like a guy, he's always on YouTube, especially during this time. Again, this is the Rap Radars, like, blogs are just like life, wake up 8 a.m. and just 10 tabs are open, just like, what the fuck is going on?
I miss that.
You know what I'm saying? It's a different time, bro. It's
now you can't pay somebody to look at a blog.
Facts, it's crazy.
NoJumper.com, check out our blog.
But, yeah, man, so, he's somebody who's very, very intentional, very, very intentional, even with features. And at the time we were banging this song called Yams. Gunplay was Triple C. Gunplay, Yams, straight Yams. Like, it was like, and we're just hearing Gunplay just like, bubbles in a cookie. Y'all niggas some rookies. Like, just his flow pattern, just his energy.
Wild,
like,
man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit was just like infectious. And then when he had this record, it was more of like Gunplay's tone, his voice, like everything would make the most perfect sense for this record. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by being very intentional with features. Like, I need Gunplay on this, saying this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna fully tie the rest of the record together.
Right.
And and when that came about, bro, like, to this day is one of my favorite Kendrick records.
Yeah. Oh God, I gotta go re-listen to that.
Yeah, bro, please.
The other one I gotta ask about is the Fredo record.
Oh yeah.
How did that happen?
Crazy. So we're at Interscope. It used to be No Excuses. And again, Dot just be tapped in, like, and he just fucks with people. And Fredo, his people were just, what I'm saying, that whole, we were on Chief Keef, all that shit, mad early, like 2000, like, was that 11, 10, 12, like, it's super early, bro. And Dot just is like fans of dudes, like, if he fucks with you, like, like, pull up, like, let me show love and fuck with you. So Fredo came through one day, he had a record that he wanted to get, and Dot just did it, bro. And even Fredo was like, what the fuck?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Performed
amazing.
it at Lollapalooza and everything.
Yo, that, like, what was the vibe like between them in the studio? It was unique. I mean, they seem like very different types of dudes.
Very much so. You know what I'm saying? Very much so. But it was more like Kendrick's like this real down to earth person. Like, people just think like, oh, he's a Kendrick Lamar. He's just yada yada yada. But it's like, when you really sit with him, he's human as fuck. He's gonna crack jokes on you. You know what I'm saying? He's just like the most human person ever. And I think when Fredo came in, like, he didn't know how to, like, interact. Am I gonna be overly aggressive? Am I gonna be humbled? Am I gonna just not give a fuck? You know what I'm saying? So you could tell through the session that, Fredo's really just testing the waters and, where is this gonna go?
That record to me really stood out as proof that, like, slow, simple rap can be just as powerful as technical
100%,
rap. Like, just having those two styles side by side and having them both be like, I really genuinely love both parts of that song, and I can't say I really love one part more than the other. that's an important thing because rap is in like a transitionary state
Exactly.
and to an extent at a time.
And it's important just for new artists to, you know, to not even new artists, artists in general, to really, that's how you stay relevant, is by tapping in with the youth. That's how you stay relevant, by understanding the sound that, you know, is on the come up, is on the cusp of blowing. And, you know, Dot is the master of that, you know, knowing how to really, you know, fuck with people and is genuine in all sense of it.
Definitely. So what's like, at some point did you guys have the conversation of like, okay, we got one of these artists blowing up, a couple of the other artists seem like they're blowing up too, but we're gonna keep it TDE. Like we need to stay united. Like we can't, like, just because you're seeing the success, we don't want you to run off and start doing a bunch of other things. We have to stay as a unit.
Facts.
Was that conversation like actually kind of happening at some point?
I think that it didn't have to be said. You know, we all, you know, it's like, look, like when you're in the freeway, right? You know, you got 5 lanes on the freeway. You know, if you got 5 motherfuckers, you got 5 people on a team that all want to be head honcho, they're all in the same lane, right? That means that line is a straight line. Instead of everybody trying to perfect one part of the business in their own field, those 5 people spread across the lane and they all can move together as a unit. You know, building a team was most important.